Long ago in Israel, a faithful man of God died, leaving his widow and 2 sons alone. Now a creditor threatened to enslave her boys to collect the debt. All the widow had left in the world was a single tiny jar of olive oil. With her heart full of faith and desperation, she turned to Elisha the prophet for help, trusting God to provide a way. She told Elisha what was happening. "My husband is dead, and you know he revered the Lord," she said. "But now my creditor is coming to take my 2 boys as slaves." Elisha listened kindly to her plea. Then he asked a simple question, "Tell me, what do you have in your house?" The widow replied, "Nothing, except a small jar of olive oil." Elisha smiled and gave the widow a surprising plan. "Go and borrow as many empty jars as you can from your neighbors, don't ask for just a few," he instructed. "Then go inside your house, shut the door behind you and your sons, and pour oil into all the jars. As each jar fills, set it aside." It seemed strange, but the widow believed his words and trusted God's guidance. The widow did exactly as Elisha said. She raced from house to house and gathered dozens of clay jars. Back home, she shut the door with her sons and lined up all the empty jars around her. Then she poured from her small jar into the first jar. Miraculously, the oil kept flowing and flowing. When the first jar was full, she moved on to the next, then the next. Jar after jar was filled to the brim with the golden oil. The little jar never emptied. God was multiplying her oil before their eyes. When the very last jar was full, the widow said to her son, "Bring me another jar." But he answered, "There is not a jar left." Immediately, the oil stopped pouring. The miracle was complete. Dozens of jars were now overflowing with oil, far more than she ever could have dreamed. Excited and thankful, the widow hurried back to see Elisha. She told him what had happened. Elisha then said, "Go, sell the oil and pay your debts. You and your sons can live on what is left." His words showed God's care for her family. They would have enough. And so she did. The widow sold the miraculously multiplied oil. With the money she paid off her creditor and saved the rest for her family's future. God's provision had saved them. By trusting and obeying, this widow saw a great blessing. A few drops of oil became a river of help. This true story from 2 Kings teaches us a powerful lesson. When the widow obeyed God, He turned her little jar of oil into a miracle. In the same way, God can take our small gifts and acts of faith and multiply them beyond measure. Even when we feel we have nothing, if we trust in Him and do what He asks, He will provide. Let this encourage you. Obey God with whatever you have, and He will fill your life with His blessings. Fountain Pen # Faith Tales, where Bible stories come to life. Bell subscribe for more timeless truth, told like never before.